I see a ton of wholesalers who can never scale and get past 20 to 30K per month. And trust me, I was there for the first 3 years of running my wholesaling business. But it wasn't until I did the 6 steps that I'm about to show you in this video on how to scale and build a business that actually serves you. Now, before we get started, a month ago, I took a 1 month long trip vacation to Europe and Dubai. So I was able to travel to a bunch of places with my beautiful wife. And I also went to London earlier in the year, and I can take vacations kind of whenever I want. But my business still, flourishes, and we still get paid. As you can see from the photos here. We went to a ton of different places, and we still closed a ton of deals. So this is some of the deals that we have closed on some of the videos that I have showed you guys. And the reason why I'm able to do this is because my team crushes and they can get deals whenever I am away, and my business is not dependent on me. So I'm not the bottleneck of the business, and I'm going to share with you how you can do the exact same thing. As you can see, like my team still crushes even when I'm not even like in the office. So even today, my business runs 100% without me. I just need to do the marketing and then just like manage them. So I'd say like 90% is delegated. And for me, I am at a point in my business where it works. I don't need to scale it past where we're at right now. I'm very comfortable. I can do whatever I want, and I net the money that I want to net each month. So I'm going to break down with you the things that you could do so that you can start having the same sort of success, whatever that means to you. So the number one thing is you need to get to a 20K per month consistently. I don't care what you do. You need to put in the time and effort and energy to make sure that you consistently get to 20K per month. Because if you don't get there, you're not going to have money to invest in marketing, hire people, and all those things, right? So all of your effort should be focusing on how you can get to 20K per month consistently. And once you get there, everything is going to get a little bit easier, because once you have the funds, money is just a tool, and then you can reinvest it to keep on getting better. So the first thing that you need to have before you build a business that runs without you, you need to have a plan and a goal. You need to really look at your life and figure out exactly how much it is that you need to net each month after expenses, and so that you can see that money in your bank account month after month. And to do that, we need to have a goal. So with you guys, I'm going to share what our goal is, and I'm going to share with you how you can do this as well. So for us, we want to close 150K per month. Our average deal size is around $17,000. So on a monthly basis, I know that I'm going to have around $8,000 to $10,000 in marketing spend. And that comes from our KPI. So if you're not tracking your KPIs, you need to do so. Um, we get on average 20 to 25 leads to a contract, and each contract is making us $17,000. So if you multiply 17 or divide 150 by 17, we need to close 8 to 9 deals at 17K. So we need to lock up around 12 deals per month, because some of them are going to fall through. So if we consistently hit this, and I know I can spend this amount of money per month, I know exactly how much revenue I'm going to generate and what my expenses are going to be, and how much I'm going to pay my team, and what my overall expenses are for the whole business. So I know that if I hit this, I'm going to be netting anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 per month. And I think that's a very good goal, because past that, I mean, it's just way more risk. Because in the end, wholesaling, it's about how much money you net at the end of the day. And I am against, just having a big business that just does a ton of revenue, because in our nature of the business, like, we're never going to sell it. So it's all about the net. So if you could figure out what your goal is, and then you can reverse engineer where you know exactly how much money you need to spend in marketing to get to your goal, you're going to have a way better plan and goal to be able to achieve that. So that's why I say that you need to get to 20K per month consistently. That way you can reinvest back into the business, whether that is in more marketing, hiring, and all that stuff, which I am going to cover here shortly. Number two, you need to have a inbound lead machine that works 24/7. So for us, we are all in onto Facebook ads. We get around 200 to 300 leads on a monthly basis, with an average cost per lead of around $33. I made a ton of videos on this, but the reason why we have success on Facebook is because our ad call out specific pain points and motivation so that the sellers that reach out are actually distressed. So our conversations are way higher quality and we can lock up a ton of deals this way. So if you can figure out how to do this, you're going to get a ton of success. So we actually do teach you how to do this with the Facebook stuff and our sales process. So if you are interested in hearing about this, book a call down below. But whatever that means for you, you need to have a system that is giving you the leads, right? Because if you know how to get leads, you're always going to be able to get deals, right? Even if you are bad at sales. So if you can bring any of the marketing channels in-house, I know that your efficiency is going to be way better, your cost is going to be way less, and if you take ownership of it, no one's going to care as much as you will. So if you can bring any of your marketing channels in-house, and if you can do Facebook, I think that's the best way to wholesale, because your cost is low and you're still getting cheap leads that are high quality, and you just need enough of those according to the plan here in order to make the revenue that you want to make, right? So if you can build the system and you can get the leads, I mean, you can get the contracts as long as your sales process is on point. Which brings us to the third point. You have to have a replicable sales process. Now, you can see what our SOP on the sales process is here. I've also made a video on this, so I'm just gonna kind of just show you what this looks like. But you need to be able to understand the seller psychology, how to set expectations, how to dig for the motivations, how to qualify leads so that you're spending time with the people that actually do want to sell. And then you need to have a process when it comes to going over the appointment, setting the expectations, making sure that you're on an even playing field where you know exactly what their pains are, their fears, their objections, their future steps. And if you can take your seller and you know and you tell them exactly what's going on at all points of the sales process, you're going to have a way better conversation and communication with the sellers, which will allow you to just basically get more deals, right? So our job in the sales process is to build that connection with the seller, and instead of just be a regular sales guy, to be more like a consultant where we guide them to their best options and we're transparent with them and we can ease all of their fears so that they can tell us if they don't like the offer or what we need to do in order to make a deal happen. So if you really focus on that, you will get higher quality conversations. But all my team, they know exactly what they need to say and when to say it and how to negotiate and how to put deals on the contract without me. So you can skim through this down below. I've also have another video on this. You can search for it on the channel. But if you build this process and you understand why to ask the questions, you're going to be able to better train your team, and they're going to be able to basically duplicate it. And you don't have to be the one taking the sales calls, because I used to be there for a long time. I thought that no one's going to be better than me, but I was wrong. They don't need to be as good as you, but if you can buy back your time and focus on the most important things of the business, like the marketing, holding them accountable, managing them, that's where most of your time should be spent. So I would suggest that you invest in some sort of sales training. Like we do help our clients crush with our sales process, and we have used the same sales process to close over 200 deals. So like I said, if you want us to help you, just book a call down below. But once you can have your sales process, it's very easy to replicate it. That way you know exactly what you need to do. Now, the fourth point is you need to be able to build out a team that knows how to run the deals. For us, for my business, it's only 6 of us. I have 2 lead managers, 2 closers, 1 dispo, and 1 TC. So each and every one of them, they know exactly what they need to do on a daily basis. We have invested in a good CRM, which kind of dispositions the leads wherever we need to have them, set appointments, follow up, all that stuff. But our goal is whenever a lead comes in, the lead managers are going to call them within 5 minutes and set appointments for the closers, which is this step right here. And then the closer's job is to build that rapport and then get them an offer and see exactly what we need to do in order to contract the property and help them out, right? And then after we do all that stuff, the dispo is going to work with the agents to make sure that these deals get sold. And then the TC is going to help my dispo manage all of that. And then I am just mainly communication with my dispo and then my team in the morning, in the morning meetings, because we hold them accountable to appointments, offers, all that stuff. So most of my time is just spent managing them on a daily basis in the morning, and on Mondays, which we set the goal for the week, and I manage the marketing, which only requires for me to do it like, I don't know, 30 minutes a week or so. Just whenever I need to record new ads, I set one day out of the month to make those new ads. But the more that we do that, the better that our cost per leads gets. So that's why I suggest, building this inbound lead machine that works 24/7. But if you know exactly how much you're going to pay them based on your overall revenue, it's way easier to have a goal of what your net is going to be. So if you stay consistent and disciplined to achieve your monthly revenue goal, and you know exactly how much you're paying out in commissions, expenses, and just overall like overhead, you will have a clear plan, right? And one of the main differences between the people who make it and the people who don't is that most wholesalers are treating this as a side hustle and not a business. And you are able to treat this as a business when you set the systems in place, when you have the marketing delegated, it's effective. And then two, you have a sales team that knows how to follow the sales process, and a sales team that knows exactly what they need to do so that they're not dependent on you, right? And this is going to take time, which brings me to my last point. So how do you get a team member to basically crush, right? So the fifth point is you need to have a hiring and onboarding system that is able to replace you. So how do you hire people in to work for you? First, you yourself need to be an A player, because if you are not, they're not going to be able to work for you, right? And you actually don't need a closer who has closed 100 deals. You just basically need someone that fits your core values. So you need to define what the core values are for the company. They're going to need to be hardworking, coachable, great with people, and actually give a shit about helping sellers, because we don't want people that are lying or are not transparent. But I know that if they have these traits and characteristics, then we can just give them the trainings and SOPs and coach them up to become a great employee, whatever that position is, right? But I really like people that know or that have customer service experience, because they have communication skills, they know how to help people. And if we teach them sales, our sales process is not pushy at all. It's just asking a ton of questions. But I know if they're coachable, we can teach them the scripts. And if they can communicate, they can turn into killers. So some of my best sales guys have come from the car business, where usually in the car business, they just throw them out there and like, hey, sell these deals, but they don't give them training or a clear SOPs on what they need to do from the moment a lead comes in or a customer to the time that they close the sale, which for us, we're trying to bridge that gap as quick as possible with as much training and feedback as possible, so that we actually groom them up to be the closer that we want them to be and hold them accountable when it comes to what are their goals when it comes to revenue for the company, monthly income. And then we just kind of need to build a plan on top of here. That way we are actually investing the money required in marketing, so they have the opportunities for them to actually make the money and stay with you, right? So how do we train our team members? So we have a ton of scripts, videos, systems, KPIs, call recording, SOPs videos, and CRM access. And we need to train them exactly how to do this, because oftentimes people are just going to complain about their salespeople, but in reality, it's all your fault. You, as the founder and the owner, you're responsible for everyone in the company. And if someone is not doing good, it's probably your fault. So you have to really look internally and figure out, hey, am I actually giving them the resources and training that they need in order for them to be successful, so you can set them up for them just to keep on growing and advancing and getting to whatever your goal is, right? So if you can invest in some sort of training for hiring and teaching them exactly what they need to do, I would really recommend it. I spent close to 200 grand in masterminds and coachings, and one of my top takeaways is being able how to do this, right? Because you're only as good as the people in your team are. You've heard this 1,000 times, and it's fully true. If you get great people, they're going to perform, they're going to be happy, they're going to make you money, you're going to make the money, and it's all like a team goal, right? So oftentimes we fail because we don't give them those resources and training, and oftentimes it's our fault. And I've been there where people quit or leave me, and it's my fault. So my job as a founder and the owner, like I said, is to train them, hold them accountable, and give them the resources that they need by onboarding them properly and training them on a continuous basis. So there you have it, guys. If you do these 6 things, I know you'll be able to build a business. So if you're not at 20K per month just yet, you need to figure out exactly how to do that. And once you're making around 20K per month and you want us to help you with all the things that I just covered, I'd love to talk to you and help you scale. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Thank you.